I'm so happy that we are back again for another week as we are going to be continuing with the fundamentals of organic farming. So I'm so excited that today we had a very fruitful conversation looking at how best we can work on this course, that everyone is benefiting and also we are moving at the same pace. You see, it is of great importance that we are very open and we are suggesting suggestions which are going to make this course more productive and also more practical. And I really appreciate for everyone who participated in the conversation. And one of the concerns was that in the nutrition class I was a little bit fast. So in obedience to that, I think I'm going to be a little bit slow so that even Mrs. Chilubi can catch up. So otherwise, you're a great class. I really appreciate your cooperation, your commitment, and also your contribution. You see, what we are building, I would say, is the first of its kind in Zambia. There isn't an organic online learning platform. So you are one of the co-founders of this platform, of which you're going to benefit in one way or the other. Because I'm also thinking of, as we come to the end of this, there are some other courses which are going to come along, of which you may be getting them at a premium fee compared to which everyone is going to get them at because of what you have done. You see, we are making this thing together, and I really appreciate your support. And also, Elena has been so supportive. Has been suggesting how best we can improve this, how best we can make it more interactive. And if you've got any suggestion on how we can make this platform better, I really appreciate your feedback. So today we are going to be looking at seeds. So one thing you should understand is that mostly what I share is practical information. There is some kind of information which you may not know, but if you know certain kind of information is going to be more useful and more helpful to you. So mostly what I'm sharing with you is that which you need to know as an organic farmer who is just starting farming. So, and as I always tell you that, you see, I wouldn't want to spoon feed you with everything, because I know that I'm not going to be there always. So what I want you to do is to be students who are able to feed themselves, look for food. The kind of food I'm talking about here is information. You should be able to search for data and be independent, be self-reliant, whereby you know how to find information. So as I even give you these assignments, make sure that you know how to search for relevant information which helps and information which can help you be a better organic farmer. It is always best to do things with a better understanding. So today we're going to be looking at seeds. If you want to succeed in organic farming, despite just having proper soil preparation, you need the right kind of seeds. It's like you want to charge a phone and you may have the right phone, but when you are using the wrong charger, you want to get your phone charged. You want to get to Lusaka and you may be on the right road, but without a proper guide, you end up in a wrong place. So the point is, seeds play a critical role in organic farming. So there are three types of seeds which we're going to talk about. So the first one is the Elohim seed. This is the organic seed. This is the seed which is available on the market. Then the second one is the hybrid seed. So the hybrid seed, these are most of the seeds which are available on the market. Then there's also the GMO seed. So I'm going to give you information on each and every seed. Then I will also advise you to go and study more on these types of seeds, how they are made, their benefits, and how a farmer can benefit from such kind of seeds. So when we talk about the Elohim seed, this is the organic original seed. So with this seed, this is the seed which was created way back in the Garden of Eden when God was creating all things. So when God was creating all things, He made this kind of seed which has been planted from one age to the other age. You find that there are varieties, beautiful varieties. When you talk about Elohim organic maize seed. There's black, there's yellow, there's purple, different colors, very, very beautiful. So these are seeds which are not tempered with mankind. The DNA is intact, the genes are intact, so man hasn't tempered. And you find that with this kind of seed, it has got a lot of strength. Just imagine, this world is close to 7,000 years old. Not millions, but 7,000. If you study your history, you find that this is what is accurate. So it has been passed from one generation to the other generation. So this kind of a seed, this is what you need as an organic farmer. This seed is going to give you so many advantages. Number one, you find that it is very disease resistant. Very, very disease resistant. It's just like a village chicken and a broiler chicken. They are two different when you talk about the issue of disease resistant. Then when you talk about the way it responds to like drought, local maize is more drought tolerant to compare to these other hybrid seeds. So you find that with the heirloom seed, the open pollinated variety, the original seed, it can endure even under hard circumstances. Just like the circumstances which a village chicken can endure, those circumstances cannot be endured by what is this one? The broiler chicken, because of the difference on how these things came into existence. So this seed has got I talked about the issue of disease resistance, because this is one of the things which troubles the farmer so much, the issue of diseases. Then second, we talk about the issue of drought. These are problems which we are facing. Then number three, you find that with the heirloom seed, they are more responsive to organic methods because they were designed naturally. So when you are growing your crops naturally, you need a crop which responds to natural ways of farming. So you find that you are going to stand better chances of succeeding with the natural methods of farming, the natural seeds. So this one is going to be your partner, is going to support you in your venture in organic farming. And then the fourth thing about heirloom seed, you find that they don't change, they are the same. Like for example, when you talk about maize, Gankata, it has been the same from the time it was created up to now. So the reason change, you always get the original. But as you're going to look at these other seeds, you're going to see where the difference comes in. So with the heirloom seed, this is the seed which the organic farmer needs. So when you go to the stores, what you should look for is, you should ask, I'm looking for open pollinated varieties. So meaning they can be pollinated by insects, they can be pollinated by wind, they are open pollinated. So this is the kind of a seed you are looking for. When you go to the stores, you say, I want OPV, I want heirloom, I want organic seeds, I want seeds which you can plant from one generation to the other. You see, my friends, we don't just have to look at yield. We have to look at the nutritional content. We have to look at the original stuff. We have to look at the disease resistance. We have to look at the taste. Did you know that the taste of an organic seed is far different from the taste of a hybrid seed and even a GMO seed? Mostly these others, they just work on the size and also the color. But when we talk about the real issues of nutritional benefit, is beyond the size and the color. So when you go to the stores, go and look for heirloom seed, go and look for OPV seed, and go and look for organic seeds, and they are readily available in this store. But you have to make a choice. Though the stores, the varieties, they may be limited, but when you go to Farmers Band, you check for Mayford, you find that there are different types of organic seeds available. So you may buy a small sachet, then you keep on multiplying as you're going to learn how to to preserve your own seeds. Then from there, when man came into existence, you see, man always wants to control things. Man wants to be in charge, and man is very greedy. And in most of these things which are happening, you find that it's just a few greedy individuals who are benefiting when the majority are suffering. When you talk about the issue of hybrid seed, the idea is very good. They say, no, we want to make a very good variety. Let's say, for example, the other variety is drought tolerant. Then the other variety gives you big sizes. So they're going to get the genes of this variety and that variety, then put them together, then make a variety which is big and is very drought tolerant. Or maybe they want a variety which grows very fast. Let's say, for example, kafamba. You know, kafamba is a kind of maize which matures very fast. So they get the early maturity variety, then they go to gankata, they get the size variety. So they get kafamba because it grows very fast, then they get the genes of gankata, the size. So they are combining the size and the fastness of growth. So always when you change the DNA of something, you change the genes. You may be looking at two things while less overlooking a lot of things. Last time when I went to the gene bank at Mount Makulu, I was asking them a question, say, what is the difference between GMO seeds and hybrid seed? I was very shocked what the scientists told me. They said, you see, the difference is very slim because both of these seeds, the DNA is tempered, the DNA is changed, is altered, so that they want to achieve a certain goal. So you find that right now, there's a time when these hybrid seeds, you can replant them maybe for 2-3 times, you still get good yields. But right now you find that you cannot do that. They put what they call stellar technology, meaning you can only plant it once, and the next time you have to go to the seed company to buy again. You keep on buying, and as they change, meaning as they change, they're even controlling you. I find that the fact of the matter is they are looking for control. So once they hook you up to hybrid seed, they know that you're going to buy from them each and every year, because you cannot replant that seed. So you find that with the hybrid seed, once the DNA has been altered, they are not disease resistant. You find that they're not responding very well to the natural ways of growing crops. Now, here's where the problem comes in. So because you are trying to do something, you're trying to grow a crop naturally, but this crop was altered, so it's not responding as it should. As a result, you won't get the desired results. Recently, I planted some tomatoes, different varieties, the OPV one, and also Tengero. I think it's not very pure. So the results which I was getting from the open pollinated one, the heroin seed, they are very different from the hybrid seed. So you find that this one is frequently attacked with diseases when this one is very, very much intact. So when you get the right variety, you get the right seed, you find that you stand a better chance to succeed in organic farming. Then lastly is the GMO. I would say this one is wicked, because you see, they get genes of things which are not of the same kind. Let's say, for example, they get from a frog. They want to grow a crop in the desert. They get beans. Then they get also genes of a frog which can survive in the desert. Then they put them together. They even get genes. They even get genes from bacteria, and they can even put the pesticide inside the seed to prevent against diseases. It's embedded inside. So the method which they use for both hybrid seed and also GMO seed is called genetic engineering. So they alter the genes, then they put in a chemical inside and it's embedded. Now, you look at what consequences are going to be when we are eating something which has got a DNA which has been manipulated. So the effects are going to be the same. I think somehow there's a link between the moral behavior of this generation compared to the food which we eat. There must be a link. You look at our health, how our bodies are weak nowadays, how our immune systems are weak. You see, even this very coronavirus, it rarely attacks the people who have got a stronger immune system. Actually, it doesn't even it attacks them, but the immune system suppresses that virus. The reason being is that the food we eat is the one which builds our immune system. So when we are eating food of which the seeds are compromised, the DNA has been altered, chances that even our DNA is going to be compromised, they are very, very high. We're not going to be behaving as human beings as we should, because what we are feeding our bodies is not what we are supposed to be eating. When you go back in history, when you look at the old people, they were eating the organic seeds. They were eating organic food. So you find that their lifespan were very longer compared to ours. Because I believe we are trying to achieve a lot of things. We are trying to achieve health, we are trying to achieve real taste, and we're also trying to fight diseases. But the key also lies in the seed. What kind of seeds are we going to plant? Because man is handling the GMO and also the hybrid. And the good thing, how you can identify the difference between the two. So with the OPV, it's just a name. But with the hybrid, they put an F. They say F1. Even the tomatoes, there are so many hybrid tomatoes on the market. Newton, F1. All those varieties, those are hybrid. You see, we should not be attracted to what we see with our eyes. We should be attracted to what we cannot see. What is inside that seed, what is embedded, because that is what is more deadly. You see, deception, let me give you a hint on deception. Deception is a commixture, mingling of good and evil. You put them together. You may get a glass of juice which is 99.9% of juice. Then you put in a 1% or a 0.1% of poison. Then you take it. That thing is still going to kill you because the content isn't pure. So what you are seeing is juice, but what is inside that juice is more deadly than what you're able to see. So that's how these diseases are. You see, man is very wicked. I don't know if you know that. But if you look at this generation, you study that on the morality levels, you find that they're growing very high. So they are also what they call biological weapons. And one of the biological weapons is food. So we eat the food and we get these diseases which we get. You see, most of the diseases we are getting is as a result of what we eat. And what we eat is determined on how we grow it and what kind of seeds we are also planting. But in most cases, we are planting wrong seeds. So, having said all this, I have to proceed to see, how you can source this seed. I said you can go to the stores and ask for OPV seeds. And nowadays, you see, the internet has made it very super easy. You go on Amazon, you go on eBay, and other online sites, but I like Amazon is more trustworthy. You go and buy, you search for organic seeds. There are companies which are promoting organic seeds. You can source them from there, and within 2 weeks you can get them from anywhere around the world. Just maybe during this crisis, maybe you may not be able to get them on time, but you can get those seeds. So once you get them, then you have to keep on multiplying. Like me, I've got about 10 varieties of organic tomatoes. So I've been planting them and they have germinated, and what I'm going to be doing right now is that I want to multiply them. I've got yellow tomatoes, small and big. I've got black tomatoes, then I've got red tomatoes, just different shapes, and it's very nice. And one shocking thing is that these tomatoes, you find that they don't get sick. They are very, very healthy. You just need to work on the soil, provide the nutrients, then they're just going to be growing. If it is spraying, not very much, because they are original, they can stand. When you go in nature, you go in the bush, you find that no one is spraying, no one is putting fertilizer, no one is watering, but things are growing naturally, very nice and very, very sweet. Then you also have to know how to preserve your seeds. So tomorrow we are going to be looking at seed germination techniques. Then we are also going to cover the issue of transplanting. So when you learn how to plant those seeds, especially during June, that's when crops mature very fast and they produce a lot of seeds. So if you want to preserve seed, this is the right time to let them go through this season and they're going to give you seeds. So, but my point is, you have to learn how to preserve your own seeds. So what you do is that when you plant your tomatoes, you plant your lettuce, you plant your rape, don't destroy it before it produces seeds. Let it produce seeds. Then you keep those seeds. So you don't have to always go and buy from the store. You have to let your crops, after you eat them, you may leave maybe 3, 4, 10 plants. These you say, no, this is where I'm going to get the seeds from. Last year when I was giving people mangoes, so when I give them a mango fruit, I say, here's a mango fruit. Then I will give them just one instruction. Okay, you eat this mango, but don't eat the seed. So many farmers don't know how to preserve their own seeds. But with organic seeds, because they don't have the sterile technology which stops them from reproducing, you can still replant them and replant them and replant them and replant them till you die. Your children, they die forever and ever. So the point is, no, you should leave out some crops, some plants for seed preservation purposes. And if you have a deep freezer, you see, when you keep a seed for, you put it in a freezer to 0 degrees, it can be preserved for maybe up to 100 years. So you keep them, you put them in a sachet, then you have to preserve them in the fridge. You can either put them maybe even in an open space, but even just for a year you can plant it. But if you want to keep them for a longer period of time, you have to put them in a deep freezer. That is what they do at Mount Makuru. They put them in the what? In the freezers. So you can keep any seed. You can keep maize seed. Any organic seed can be preserved without losing the strength of that seed. Now here is how I look at organic farming. Number one, it liberates you. You don't have to be going back to the stores each and every time. You will be having your own seed. You have your own seed bank where you keep your seeds. So by the time you see, you have your own, you know how to prepare your own soil, you know how to feed your own soil, you know how to to make your own seeds and preserve them. And at last, you even know how to make your pesticide, meaning you are free, meaning the cost production has been tremendously reduced. And this is what we want. So you find that even amidst a crisis, you can still be able to continue with your farming activities. Even when the economy goes very bad, you find that because you are in control of the value chain, from the soil preparation, you talk about seeds, you talk about pesticides, and you talk about fertilizers, you're able to make everything. The only thing you can do is sell. So you find that the cost production is going to be reduced tremendously. So then lastly, we are going to look at how to maintain seed purity. It's very possible that your organic seeds can be contaminated. Now, this is how the contamination can happen. If you have a neighbor who has got, maybe you plant rape and your neighbor has got hybrid rape. So you find that as the insects are doing pollination, they get the pollen from there and bring to your seed bank, to your garden. You find that your seeds are going to be contaminated. Now, here is how you maintain seed purity. Make sure that you plant your garden especially where you're preserving the seeds from, very far away from other gardens. If you have your garden near other people's garden, but the seeds which you are planting for the purpose of maintaining, preserving the seeds, you put it very, very far away from the other seed, maybe 1 kilometer or maybe 2 kilometers, but at least keep it very, very far away, because insects can travel a very, very long way. So having a better understanding on seeds and how they can affect your yield also matters a lot as a farmer. So the more you know the right seed, the more you plant the right seed, the better